Hi agents, Chris Buckler back again. This time I'm joined by Iain McKenzie of the Guild. Now, Iain, you've hit me with some gold offline. I can't wait to hear it. Most of these interviews, I talk about short-term solutions. So you said, well, you're going to give one short-term tip for agents, but then two long-term tips that agents need to be thinking about. So thank you for joining us. Hit us with the first one.
So I was at a training course last week for agents. It's the first time we got together, and it was magnificent to be back in the room with people. I've done hundreds and thousands of these Zooms, but you can't beat face-to-face. And it reminded me of a couple of things. Firstly, 35 years ago, Gerard Probert taught me estate agencies 99% people and 1% houses, and I still can't prove him wrong, despite all of the evolution that I've seen in terms of fax machine and all of the other stuff that's come through since then. One of the things that's bothering me about the marketplace at the moment is the invent of tech giving the consumer the end decision. Constantly, I'm seeing tech where the consumer gets to decide for themselves. And one of the skills I think is missing in the marketplace at the moment, and I think you guys very definitely need this in the marketplace, is the ability to overcome objections and actually build some chains. So one of the guys I was talking to last week said, really frustrating. I've got 2 cracking houses onto the market, but I've got 11 people that are either want low key or they actually want to delay until they found a property. And Chris, you and I will know that it's about chain building. Back in the olden days, we used to have whiteboards on the screen, and we would build chains backwards. In today's world, agents are so keen to put it onto the portals to show their rivals how well they're doing, and then surprise, surprise, it gets snapped up by the first cash buyer that sees it overnight. Absolutely categorically, you should be thinking about your marketing strategy for the best benefit of the customer, which is who's going to pay the most. Now, who's going to pay the most for the property in the right timescale? Now, I would be able to articulate a very valid argument to my customer, which is the person that's going to pay the most is the person who recognizes the value the most. And surely that's got to be a person that lives in the area, understands the area, knows the schools, connections, and all that sort of thing. And therefore, what you need to talk about a marketing strategy is a 2-tiered approach, which is working the local marketplace for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before you launch it onto the portals, and then enable your sales guys to turn 1 instruction into 2, possibly into 3. It's the only way to actually solve. Everyone's talking about the lack of instructions in the marketplace. For me, it's apply a bit of common sense. Don't rush it. Do what's in your best interest and actually build chains and work your local marketplace. So very, very obvious one, but the bit that surprised me the most was that the influencing skills that used to be apparent 10, 20, 30 years ago, we're almost forgetting that. And at estate agency has always been about giving the best advice for the customer that needs it at the time.
I couldn't agree more with everything you've just said. You know, people put what he said. Exactly that, Iain. So thank you. Right. So the long-term tips, fire away.
Well, there's one that I'll focus on, then I'll only give you one because it's really important. There is a new battleground in estate agency. It is not the portals. It is not anything other than your brand, your data, and your digital identity. So think about the phrase where perception meets reality. I can show you loads of estate agents out there where perception-wise on social media, they're brilliant, but there's no substance that sits beneath it. You've absolutely got to work on your integration in that digital world. You've got to communicate with your customers, because one of the things that's changing really, really quickly in this world is how social media and social influencers are influencing decision makers. You guys are all thinking now, oh no, that's not right. It's all cribs and it's the 17-year-olds that are, yes, that's right. It is the 17-year-olds, but they're the ones showing it up to their parents, influencing parents' behavior. So the market's changing. Think about your digital footprint and think about how you're representing yourself and building leads, and take it away from the portals and send it to your website.
I love that. 30 seconds left, so I'm going to ask you a question on that rather than the other tip. If there's one thing you could do on social media, what would you do? And it was only one thing.
Find local community groups and offer free advice to help people.
I think that's absolutely brilliant. Absolute sound advice here, and I'm sure you're going to get a flood of traffic to your website after this. So listen, from everyone here at Estate Agent Today, we wish you guys at the Guild the best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.